Do you have any insights on this replay? Okay, that's a lot of good insights. Hello everyone, this is greyshot17. Today I'm doing a 4K replay. This 4K replay has 2 Americans and 1 Brit, being Creepio, 151, and Longrod von Hugendog, with 2 OKW, Darmok, Train, and Barbs, Austere, and 2 OKW, fighting on Rzhev Winter, everyone's favorite stalemate map. This is a 4K replay, so submitted by a top tier patron, and that is a combination of Creepio and 151. Again, typically in replays, I don't give it away, but in this specific scenario, I think someone would be like, wait a second, greyshot117's casting this, and 151's in the game. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get to this game, shall we? Looks like we have a double team of Axis forces, which is smart. Protect your fuel, and this one's a little bit hard to defend than the other one, but the Brits are advancing, but there's a Kubel here, we got MG moving on up, we got Sturm Pioneers reacting pretty well, so they should be able to deal with this infantry section quite quickly. I also have, by the way, a strategic zoom to pull out a little bit more if need be, and we can see from afar that this infantry section was completely overwhelmed and will need to pull back. Allied forces are in the sector to kind of hold the line. We'll see how long that they can physically hold that. Meanwhile, on the left, we do have some Allied forces battling against Sturms, which looks like got held off by the Echelon and the Riflemen here, and Riflemen just holding off those men. They'll probably lose overall, but they'll at least push back the Sturm Pioneer squad. Volk squad's going to be overwhelmed by 2 Riflemen, probably in the sector. Would probably be smart to pull back. As much as I would say, like, hold the line, you can do, it's like, no, you don't really have any reinforcements in the sector. You don't have too much to kind of continue to push against this infantry force. Meanwhile, on right, we have a Kubel coming on in to support the Sturm and Volk squad. Darmok's really trying to advance and do what he can. And to be fair, that's smart. They have an MG over here guarding the territory. Why not try to push if possible? It looks like they did get a capture point, allowing them to, looks like, especially with capturing the other point, gain a decent lead against the Allies in fuel and munitions. VP-wise, it's going to go to the Germans as well, putting pressure more on the Allies than the Axis. Meanwhile, we get Universal Carrier moving up. Maybe try to kill the Volk squad, but a little late on that. Again, fighting these guys in cover, that direction is not great because they are in cover, so a lot of that shots being fired is hanging on the side, so that will do pretty well. Plus, a Faust is coming on in. Universal Carrier definitely overextended itself and will probably be pushed back. Commander-wise, I can automatically see down there, we have Infantry Company, and we have ourselves a, oh god, what's it called? I'm trying to see the name. Urban Assault. So essentially, that's a lot of artillery. That makes sense. If you want to fight in this map, unfortunately, you have to go with more of an artillery focus. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me be very clear. But if you go with artillery, if you go with this map, expect it just because of its close proximity, because artillery can easily hit the Allied base, per se, on this side, if you have long-range artillery or upgraded Stukas or a number of different assortments. So it just makes sense for this map for artillery to be used. Meanwhile, we have a lot of Grenadiers pushing on up. We have a Rifle Grenade that kind of missed on out. Captain coming on in. We have Riflemen trying to hold the line. A lot of really good German infantry. They're trying to push on in. We got some guys in the building here, and they're doing okay with that support. Grenadiers as well, just trying to hold up near the munition point. Both squads using cover. Kubel pulling back. And yeah, it may not be the best attack, and most likely the Axis will lose men and not be able to advance. But the question is, if they threw everything in their attack, what's their secondary reserve force? Like, what do they have guarding when their main assault thrust failed? And that's... the answer is nothing. They have nothing guarding mid. So, honestly, that was a failure. That was a strategic failure because you didn't have something in case you fell back. I know it's strength in force is a typical motto for attacking, but if you throw everything and the enemy, and you know the enemy probably will not be broken here, it's best to have something that you fall back on. It's not like them killing the enemy here is going to win the game, unless they're very lucky. Most of the time it doesn't, so it's always good to have like MGs or something on standby to kind of keep infantry from just walking up and taking the territory. Great job with the sniper. Good shot. Killed the Kubel. So that's a hell of an opening for Creepio. Meanwhile, we got Rifleman pulling back because of the... Oh, JLI. Okay, so looks like we have Overwatch. Good idea. There's artillery. There's airstrikes. We also have Darmok. Really good idea. Has the Yag Tiger. Very good long range in the SAR artillery. And then, of course, Luftwaffe Supply Doctrine. Great direct strikes. Really good. I think it's a flame strike, right? Yeah, so you're not going to see the anti-armor strafe like the other one, but you will get resources, which is very, very critical in order to survive and keep pushing forward. Anyway, Riflemen are suppressed by the MG34 and kept back. Luckily, the snipers there to support. Unfortunately for him, their Stern Pioneers. Looks like they are placing mines from what we can see. So if you place mines, it's really good because, again, along key choke points where the enemy most likely will go, they'll lose a couple models and be forced back. Again, and that keeps you from keeps the territory resources coming in. So it can be very, very helpful with that. Upgrades being done with the JLI being upgraded with G43s and the Volk squads as well being upped with STG44s. Good British mine right there. I'm sorry, not British, American. That's an American mine. It's the... no. Yes, it is. Because, yeah, passive defensive structures, Riflemen do get... Oh my god, so many rifle grenades. Holy mackerel. But Riflemen do get mines. It's like, wait a second. Am I wrong with that? No, I'm never wrong. That's free. Greyshot is never wrong about anything. Absolutely not. Just Google and I am. Anyway, that Pioneer squad was definitely wrong for charging over the road. Absolutely annihilated by the Rifleman force coming on in. This blob by 151, it might be one click, but it's still doing what it needs to do and definitely pushes back the infantry. But it seems like something died. It looks like rear echelons were neutralized, which is unfortunate. Maybe from the squad over here. Not entirely sure. We do have a fighting position. And it looks like GTA in the meantime did manage to... Was it GTA though? Yeah, it was GTA. Oh, aka Longrod. Longrod, I know him as GTA, that's why I might say it. Put down some defenses to stop armor and other infantry from coming through. Smart idea because you can use the cover. Only thing is here is the enemy can use the cover. So that's something to keep in mind. But armor will have a harder time advancing in the sector. It looks like a mine hit him on the retreat. And judging by the guns, I have to assume it was two Volk squads. So really good use of mines there. You can always place another one, and if armor goes on it, most likely it'll fall through the ice, which is always great to see. Sniper providing recon, while the infantry section have been upped. Wow, okay, was not expecting a sub to be on right now, but hey, while I'm actually recording this, thank you, Sledgy, for the sub. Who knew? I'm literally recording this so I can have this up for... 4K Saturday, and yeah, no, that was... Sometimes you get random subs that come up through the day. Huzzah. Just unexpected support. But anyway, because again, I have the alert box because I usually do them live on Twitch on Sunday. So like, for example, this Sunday, which will be tomorrow by the time this comes out, at 9 a.m. Central Time, I'll be casting games. So if you want to submit a replay, submit to greyshotproductions@gmail.com or my Twitch, like that sub will now have access to submit a replay. And there you can submit a replay and make sure you include your information, your name, some info about the game, and I may cast it. I get a lot of games, I'd be very clear, but I try to make sure I have a good variety of subs, patrons, and also random supporters on Gmail. Meanwhile, we have American forces doing a push, MG trying to set on up, but it looks like it won't be enough. No, it will be. Actually, oh, okay. I thought there was going to be more infantry coming on in. But no, it looks like, if anything, the Germans really doubled down and tried to force Longrod out. Additional defenses going down. There is a fighting position there which will delay for a certain time, but the enemy could always push this way. Looks like, though, 151's also building a fighting position. Lost stack positions when the Germans really don't have long-range artillery, not a bad idea. Again, a support gun could easily deal with it via smoke or a explosive barrage, but also Raketten Werfer could as well, though you may have to worry. Actually, I'm surprised he didn't put two little AT traps in front, that way the Raketten Werfer will fire and shoot it, but it might still... I wasn't expecting a miss, I was expecting it to tank. But I will say, a rifle grenade's being fired by the re-echelon. The Grenadier is having a taste of their own medicine. Meanwhile, the AT gun is absolutely being pushed back. Good use of cover right there. Should keep him in the fight. Or nope, he retreats out of there, so that will cause him to be suppressed. Again, Rifleman holding pretty firmly. Rifle grenade still firing, which is hurting the guys in or near the building. Meanwhile, with the Volk squads pushing into mid, knocking out the M1, which is a nice little win right there for Darmok. Again, kill an enemy AT gun, that's they have to recruit it or you decommission it. Either way, it's a win-win. Again, are we about to see Echelon die? I was gonna say, are you really gonna let that die? No, he can fire rifle grenades on the move. While the Echelon is in the base, they get to fire that ability. So again, just as to kind of differentiate the why certain doctrine abilities. But anyway, Sniper's over here with 4 kills. Not too many, but it's a good idea he got it because he's versing Obosoldaten. While the infantry section are very good, Obosoldaten are extremely powerful infantry, and having a sniper can really tip the balance into the side of the Brits winning the day. So again, really great thing right there. Meanwhile, American infantry pushing back the mortar. MG opening fire, trying to push back the riflemen. Meanwhile, Volk squads Obosoldaten looks like are moving toward mid, which is very interesting because they have their you have your base here, and then of course I'm not seeing any mines, I'm not seeing anything over here. And again, this is a huge front currently open. If the enemy, which does have a sniper, realizes that there's nothing in the vicinity, then they'll advance. Literally, it's just one of those moments where it's like, oh, just some good solid recon, and you could absolutely check the area. Now, the Brits do have recon, but Creepio does not have access to it. The Majors have recon as well for the Americans, but dealing with the USF, oh, sorry, the UKF, I'm sorry, they don't have a flyby ability in the commanders, and he doesn't have the assault officer. So if you don't have the assault officer, you don't have the recon ability to flare out certain areas. So that's unfortunate for him. Now, again, I believe it's the AT gun that gets a flare ability, but unfortunately doesn't have that heavy AT. The 17 pounder is just not there. So without it, you can't really check out anything in the vicinity. The infantry, again, drop smoke and pyrotechnics, but they're not dropping recon. But, again, now we have blue moving in. So, again, it's kind of curious to see what Barbs is up to. We haven't seen him drop any resources as well. Maybe munitions that help with upgrades. Maybe with, you know, your ally with some heavier infantry, like the Panzerfusiliers, because of the breakthrough doctrine. Pyrotechnics about to be called in and absolutely clobber this area, which it will. MG in a really bad position. Obosoldaten could be hit again. Judging by the slow fire rate, I'm assuming... Hold on one sec. Did he upgrade both? No, just one. Okay, I'm not crazy. So yeah, he has one artillery currently firing at the area. Rifleman advancing against the MG, facing the wrong way. He does not have grenades, but he does have Molotovs. So again, good use here, be a Molotov on the MG or on the pack gun. Either one that you want to kill. Probably pack gun would be better because they'll retreat that way, I assume. You can retreat, or he just doesn't retreat. No, he would have retreated there. So again, kind of realizing where the enemy is going to retreat to and kind of maximizing damage or efficiency is a really good idea. And a Molotov cocktail would have been super, super good at that area. And he has plenty of munitions right now. He's been upgrading his men with bars, which is a good upgrade. He got himself a howitzer as well, and a major, so armor is literally around the corner for the allies. Let's see. We got ourselves no armor yet. We do have a mortar pit. Barbs is getting a Panzerwerfer, so he's already upped all the way up there. He's just like, I'm getting artillery, and that makes sense for this map. But Darmok will have the first medium piece of armor, being a Panzer IV. Again, solid choice, good against infantry. And right now, looks like the allies are breaking through the Axis lines, killing a support gun. They're trying to neutralize the MG, a mortar, a Rakadwerfer. Yeah, this entire side is pulling back, but the infantry here will probably be pushed back by the small blob of Volks and JLI. So you have to worry about that. Let's see. Anything? Not really. I'm not seeing any possible way the Americans can really counterattack. They still have... Oh, no! The position was destroyed by the support gun. That's why they attacked the position. They wanted to remove the support gun before it killed the fighting position. Unfortunately, that position was killed. So, yeah. Great job, allies. I'm sorry, Axis. Because, again, that neutralized the MG, allowing you to take the points. Which they are currently ahead in right now. We can see here the allies are down 100 points, roughly. Panzer IV has been upgraded with a Pintle MG42. So, again, that increases DPS against infantry. Let's see what happens. Love the Panzer Commander, but alas, not today. Again, Panzer Warfare against a building, not preferable. Preferable would be against, like this, stationary targets and or groups of infantry. Meanwhile, we got ourselves Creepio. Trying to do what he can. He's going to probably take over this point. But right now, it's a interesting scenario because it looks like a lot of the Axis forces are in mid, including Creepio's direct competitor. So will Creepio move in as a flank, maybe with the 6-pounder? You get some great shots here. Maybe get inside the building. The fighting position is, I think, yeah, it's over here. So it's outside the range. Both squads have 2 kills, the veteran C2. Okay. Okay, good sir. Massive infantry push, but I think this may be... wait, hold on. Can they kill the JLI? They cannot. Very close to, but the MG will suppress them and push back that wave of infantry. Like I said before, it's not just the Axis. Now the Allies have to worry about the incoming assault. Also, good fire building, because, again, it hurt them on retreat a little bit. Fighting position is still there. And again, this was probably from the fire barrage from this thing, the incendiary bombing run. Not a bad idea to try to burn it. Unfortunately, while some of the grenadiers are suppressed, other ones are throwing grenades and trying to advance. And looks like a good American grenade will kill a squad. Great job there. And yeah, the howitzer will pull back. A Jackson's on the field, so again, good tank destroyer coverage to hold back the medium armor, which we're seeing with 2 Panzer IVs. So, yes, as long as this is here and can fire long range and has sight against that armor, he should be pretty good. We have artillery kind of coming into the sector. And it's somewhat missing again, a little bit. Move over a little bit, hit the howitzer. Again, you got the mortar pit returning fire, you got this howitzer. Luckily, the Jackson's not missing. It hits Panzer IV dead on, I think, with the M1 as well. Recon's now overhead doing a flyby. So they are currently trying to see what the Axis have at their disposal. But right now, it looks like a good Axis force is on the right. But the good news is they don't have minesweepers. So we could easily see a Panzer IV dying here. Very lucky he was hugging the edge, because he got hit with a mine. Otherwise, he would have went probably into the water. But the Beaufort might kill it here, or the 6-pounder. Either way, it does die. Great job there. Panzer IV's dead. And Darmok's entire offensive initiative just literally fell on its face. It absolutely fell apart. So, yeah, it's just unfortunate. Truly, truly unfortunate for that assault. Again, why it's so imperative to have minesweepers. And this guy's king of flamethrower, and he has no minesweepers. Again, if you're versing an enemy that can lay down mines, which is pretty much all of the allies, except I would say the Americans half the time. If you know the American is going under, let's say, I think it was, yeah, so if you know infantry company is on the field, yes, definitely probably get minesweepers. But if you know it's something like urban assaults, and really the allies can't place mines except for maybe a utility car, but very rarely do I see that in like this scenario. Maybe you don't have to worry about a minesweeper. Definitely against the Soviets. British are a little bit more like up in the air with it, to be 100% honest. But definitely Soviet, you want to get minesweepers because, yeah, those cheap mines can be a pain in the ass for any assaulting group or mainline infantry, or heavy infantry, or armor of any type. So yeah, be very, very careful with that. Meanwhile, Panzer IV is trying to assist Jackson, though, coming in to completely whiff and miss. So wonderful job right there. Artillery's trying to come on in. Axis trying to continue to hold it, which I get. They're bringing the Allies down to another 150 points. They keep that up. It's great. But unfortunately, they may have stayed there a little bit too long. Or not, actually. Artillery's coming down the sector. Stuka, Panzerwerfer. Now, actually, that's not being hit by artillery. It's the support guns and the MG being hit. Also, it looks like there's a supply drop over here that they have to watch out for being hit. Did that throw the pyrotech? It did not. Okay. So what are we dealing with? Oh, it's not artillery from that. It's a priest firing. Okay. That makes a little more sense. So a priest was firing in this sector. Jackson's still holding, but the infantry is moving up with AT support to push back the tank destroyer. Again, good use. Make sure you have a good screen for armor, and that's a perfect screen to deal with armor if it hits. Unfortunately, it looks like it whiffed once again. Riflemen advancing, trying to push against the enemy infantry, drive them back. But for right now, it seems like the Allies are doing well. They're holding the VP. Looks like they'll take it. Artillery's coming on the right, stopping another possible push. Again, I would probably do some hit and runs to deal with the caches and stuff. But I get why they're focusing here. They're absolutely dominating against the Germans. This guy was Parbs. Definitely lost some Grenadiers. He at least lost one, which is a nice little win. Every time you kill an infantry, that's good. I'm surprised he hasn't called down more, or sorry, hasn't gotten MG42. But let's see, we got Darmok. Yes, Shuka with 0 kills. Strain has, oh wait, did the Panzerwerfer, I'm sorry. Panzerwerfer has 0 kills. So Axis artillery has been absolutely ineffective over this game so far. They're more incompetent at this current point than the Italians, because the Italians at least got some kills. Werfer coming on in. Somehow only gets 2 kills in that. I have no idea how. He had to be firing. Yep, he's literally firing at the maximum range. Get a little closer. You have a little leverage to get closer. You can hide behind the building. You can kind of screen it out with some infantry to make sure AT guns aren't hitting it. Anything else, just get a little closer so you can get that spread shrunk a little bit, and that increases likelihood immensely of your men surviving. We have tank traps being put on the water to protect the fighting position to kind of guard this point. If allies can hold that point, that's huge for them because they can start putting down, especially at the fighting position right there. If they can make sure it's held, yeah, it's a big win. Support guns, though, are doing pretty good work from what I can tell. You got this one over here, and I think there's one more, right? With, yeah, right there. 7 kills, but it's at least trying to hold back the infantry and gain some good health damage. Panzer IV trying to hit the area, but misses. The Jagdpanzer's there, so at least they have a counter to a tank destroyer, so that's good, or at least a long-range counter. We don't see any Su-85s because we don't have any Soviets, so we don't have the extended range to really necessarily worry about, unless you have a good screening of other units. So that's one thing that the Jagdpanzer at the very least doesn't have to worry about. Yes, you have to worry about a Firefly, but in this scenario, it's literally just head-on, which is the Jagdpanzer specialty. And the only thing I'd say about the Jagdpanzer is that I think it typically can be beaten by an Su-85. But what is beaten is the Bofor on the right. Infantry's pushing on in. Good Shrek Force and Panther coming on in. Yeah, Creepio's absolutely falling apart here. Luckily, Allied forces being Longrod and 151 are coming on in. And the Sniper is still being used as recon, but that might end soon. Volk Squad getting very close to the Sniper. Might reveal it in a moment. No. Somehow does not get revealed. He's very, very lucky. Grenadiers coming on in. Oh, sorry. But yeah, they get easily pushed back by a grenade. And luckily, none of them died. We also have an MG here. Why are you not taking that Vickers? Vickers is so good. Absolutely take that MG. At the very least, you could put it here and just kind of guard this area against any incoming waves. Again, Creepio not in the best position. He does have a Cromwell, but looks like it hasn't done too much. Sniper now got pushed back, I'm assuming, by infantry walking by, which it was. Now we have double Werfers. Again, this is very risky because a double Werfer is very vulnerable to enemy artillery or a tank strike or a lot of these different things. They're also using it against the mortar pit. Now, again, if one shot lands here, that could be worth it. But it looks like, no, they didn't kill any of the repairing infantry. Unfortunately, not making all that effective. I guess Calliope doesn't want those men to repair. They're now too far away, so they will not repair. What a team player. Allies do have mid and artillery from the howitzer variety, and mortar pit? Yeah, mortar pit is currently hitting that area. Panzer Force coming on in. No big pushes as of yet on mid, but on the right, you're still seeing the after effect of that push from Darmok. He's being pushed back, though. He is calling down artillery, which is a little interesting. Saw artillery, but I get it. He wants to make sure the enemy can't capture the point and maybe get a kill or two off infantry just walking on in. Will he get lucky enough for that? No, again, not really. But this Calliope is probably going to get very lucky. Oh my god, he got 2 kills at the same time. But yeah, he cleared all that. A lot of support equipment knocked out. Stuka maybe returned the favor. A little bit effective. Destroy some of the tank traps, although some of them are still somehow floating. Somehow floating, I think. Either that or they sort of fell a little bit. It's unclear, but like this one, I don't know how, unless that tiny piece of ice is holding it together. Whatever the case may be, they still have heavy cover, but don't expect to get to the island anytime soon. We have an armored unit heading right. Very risky, but we haven't yet to see any German mines. Again, it's not like the British have put minesweepers, which is the main thing, but it looks like he's going for the Werfers, which is quite funny because the Werfers have only gotten 6 kills total, and we've had them on the field for at least 10 minutes, so that's a lot of strikes to kind of be whiffing. Now it looks like we're going to have an AT grenade here that will stop the Cromwell in its tracks. It is very close to the Werfers, but it won't be able to close the gap and most likely will die a death. This is where it's really good to have recon, so you know where the enemy is. Unfortunately, it looks like that may have been called either too late or just not synced well, so Axis armor immediately neutralizes it. Artillery, though, coming on in, and looks like we may have a direct strike coming in from Creepio as revenge. He's not moving, and also the Priest did a great shot on that Jagdpanzer. We could see it fall here if he's lucky. Damage engine, MG, still alive somehow. No, direct strike was not that effective, but artillery knocks out the MG, and Sturm's not healing that thing anytime soon. Oh my god, it is so low. They're going to need to repair a lot of men. Alright, so the Ally perspective. The Allies currently have a population size of 81, 79, and 51. So that would put their average at like, oh god, I'm going to say 70? Like right there? Hopefully my math's right. Oh good, Darmok got minesweepers, so that's good. It helps him detect those mines in the area. Again, Panzerfusiliers, I do find interesting he's using them as a Shrek group, but he has a lot of anti-infantry, so it kind of makes sense he wants something against armor on the move. We have a King Tiger? Is that right? We do. Holy god. Alright, Allies still have to worry about that. And overall Axis are... Alright, math-wise, this might be... I think 70 is where they're at as well, so it's still relatively close, I would say. It's a relatively close game. But in terms of population right now, it's really going to be who can kill who more. Unfortunately, it looks like artillery's close, but no cigars. Again, no kills. Allies have gotten a couple good hits against the Axis, and same thing, the Allies maybe got a little too cocky and the Axis neutralized them. But again, we have this infantry here with 15 kills, nothing to sneeze at. Volk Squad's at 12, Panzer IV's at 10, make that 11, of course, you have to show off. Mortars at 7, Grenadiers with a Bren gun have 9, and you upgrade with MG42, that's a good win. AT guns and Tank Destroyer managed to easily push back the Panzer IV, almost killing it. Very low on health, at quarter health. So, the attack on right was not as successful as he probably wanted, but maybe a second time with some better armor. And I love how he knew where the mine was, and it's like, nope, I'm removing it. With the King Tiger, it may be a lot more difficult. 20 kills, though, give a shout out to the infantry section. Maybe a lot more difficult for Creepio to counter that, because not only do you have to deal with a lot of very good infantry, you have to deal with a heavy tank that is how do I put this in the best way possible? Easily able to penetrate your heavy armored vehicle designed not to be penetrated. So, yeah. Now, artillery's coming on in, destroys some of the ice, hurts a lot of the infantry, actually kills one squad, which is huge. Again, that's the AT squad. Oh, sorry, that Obel squad. So that's a nice little win there. So artillery did come down the sector, but didn't really do that much. And the King Tiger will stay back. Very smart of him to do so, because you don't put in a heavy tank by itself. You'll end up it'll go down pretty quickly. Artillery just hitting this overall area. We have some, let's see. Alright, yeah, we have some mortars and other things kind of hitting this area. Grenadier's very low. Jackson almost kills it, but luckily hits the Panther instead. I know, very likely a Jackson could kill it, but still, it's like right on top of him. Jackson's do manage to push him back along with the M1, although fire comes down over the vicinity, probably killing it before he has time to react. So there goes Longrod's units. Longrod, though, is 1,500 manpower, 1,100 for 151. While there are, I think there's like 1 or 2 points that you can put caches for. The ones that are more secure do have caches, so I'll give credit where credit's due. Same thing with the Axis, they have some decent cache positions, so they're at least getting resources, although this needs a cache. Though, I get why Barbs doesn't have a ton of manpower and men, and right now he lost quite a bit of his overall frontline force over the last couple minutes, so it makes sense for him to kind of focus on more infantry-based stuff in the meantime, and then eventually when he has more, hopefully get some caches down. You probably wanted to in later, but I understand. It looks like the King Tiger was hit by a mine, I think, or something. I'm guessing a mine. Either way, it's definitely engine crit, or got an engine crit and has to pull back. Meanwhile, we have a rifleman squad pushing on against a Panzer IV, a Jagdpanzer, a Panther, and a sport gun. One less sport gun. And that's exactly what they wanted. They killed the sport gun and are now running for their goddamn lives. And I understand that a lot, because it's like, Panzer IV, huh? Alright, well, we can stay here and fight, or we're just gonna run away. We already did our thing. Recon's going overhead. Hopefully this gives them an idea of what is happening with Darmok, who's setting a lot of infantry on the right. Recon should detect that, and again, they should also detect where the King Tiger is. I'm unsure if Longrod would concentrate. No, he's absolutely doing that. His priests are focusing on the king, I believe, or they're going to focus here. Hold on. No, they're going to focus on killing the Panzer headquarters, and the MG might die too if they don't get out soon, which would be a nice little win. It is a nice little win. He kills the MG. Again, it may not. It's like, well, great shot. The MG wasn't doing anything. It was sitting in the base, and it was 260 manpower, or sorry, 240 manpower. It's like, it's not that big overall, but it's still dead. It's still gone, and now with that, and most likely this Panzer headquarters being dead from priest fire, you no longer have to worry about this guy getting armor. If they can kill it, it's very close. Hopefully they can. Come on, one more salvo. There we go. And the Stern Pioneer even got hit, so that's more manpower lost. But all the defenses on right are now gone. They should have probably separated that a little bit more. But still, they killed it, and now that stops Darmok from getting additional armor. Infantry with almost a Daten. But it looks like he's really relying on those Panzer Fusiliers. Suka comes on in, knocks down that building. I think there were men inside, but I don't confirm. MG looks like was outside, but again, there could have been men in. Although I think Creepio's just had those 2 units. Big armor push in mid, but again, plenty of armor to deal with. Oh, well, I would say that, but we'll have to see how the Jacksons maneuver. We don't have an AT line because the AT gun is back here and the other one's back here. So right now we have Longrod advancing by himself with double Panthers. This could be very bad, but it looks like White Phosphorus is going to block sight. Or they do hit the Panther, though. Jackson coming on in. Let's see, Churchill's pushing on right against the King. Not a good idea, especially with all the Shrek teams. Like, come on. Dropping smoke. I don't think he has any mines in the sector. And while he's an AT gun, I don't think that's going to be enough. But luckily the infantry is healing, and that will be enough to stop that. And without infantry support, I think the King's like, I don't want to risk it. On left, he tried to push up, but again, the fighting position, which was remade over here, held him back. Jackson really far up by itself, has to... If those Panthers push, that could be a big ordeal. But artillery is still raining down fire upon the enemy. Again, Longrod's priests are really doing work. 33 kills. Compare that to Darmok's Stuka, which has gotten 6 so far, or Barb's Panzerwerfers, which, again, I think got killed by the artillery. And, yeah, they only have 4 kills. So, again, pretty impactful for a lot of this artillery. So, really good job there, and glad that the priest is doing well. Again, the axes do have counters. I want to be very clear. Before someone says, great shot, these are overpowered. You have Stuka bombs, you have close air support, and you have assault artillery. And you have recon, because now the OKW has recon overpass. And the other austere has a recon overpass for a commander build. So you have recon. You can obviously use it if need be. Again, if you're not going to use it, that's on you. Or the half-track in general, just for extended range. Panzer 4 gets pushed back by the Jacksons. We do have what looks like a artillery coming on in this sector. Oh no, it's Overwatch. It's the airstrikes with the sector assault. They're going to hit the Calliope, actually. Can they kill it, is the question. No, they're actually in the Jackson now. A little bit of damage on the Jackson. Most of the armor is backing up, except for Longrod. He's just chilling there. Infantry is being suppressed. Unable to really advance forward. I don't know why they're still standing there. Most likely they're going to lose this fight. We do have a good shot with the Panzer IV, pushing back one of the riflemen. Double Jackson, however, will drive the Panzer IV away. Unless we have a good AT strafe against these Jacksons, they could still be a threat. But actually a big Panther push coming on in with a 1-2-3. Longrod might be in a bad situation here and overwhelmed. Armor push really well timed. If they can connect, they do, and Jackson goes down, neutralizing an American Jackson, which is a huge win for the Axis in terms of right now on the field. Fortunately, the American industry is no joke, and they have enough resources to easily pump out another one. So that is bad for the long term, but at least in the short term, they have to worry about it. They will probably lose that Panzer. Oh my god, it bounced. It missed. He's so lucky. He is so absolutely lucky with that Panzer IV. Meanwhile, being lucky, how will the King Tiger fare on the right with the SAR artillery coming down? We do have a Firefly, and we do have a 6-pounder, an MG as well, guarding some of the infantry. Infantry section right behind it, so if they push too much, they can always come on in. SAR artillery looks like it's taking some of its own, it's taking some damage from friendly fire, which is always hilarious to see. Smoke as well, making it hard for it to shoot through, so it's going to back on up. If he hits him over the ice, they might be able to kill it, but it looks like he won't engage. Maybe he wouldn't be able to reload in time and fire, which is understandable. Let's see, Sherman is maneuvering. He's on armor. I think he's going to go in for the dive. I don't think this is a great idea. This will be the second allied dive we're going to see this game. But again, the enemy has completely changed. We look at, was it Duff, and he has 3 Panthers. Like, he has a solid force. Dropping smoke, but again, they're just so close that smoke has no effect.
We just lost a medium tank.
Alright, good rocket strike on the King Tiger, but alas, nothing to kill it or finish it off. Again, from what we're seeing right now, we're seeing right now the creeping barrage to help kill the units in the area with a slow, steady barrage that kind of covers this area to hopefully get something. So much armor right here. Again, a priest firing in the sector could be very, very efficient. Panzerwerfer coming on in against the infantry section. Gets a kill here or there, but again, not many. 7 kills, and he's at Veteran C2. 7 kills. And you deserve Veteran C2? Are you serious? That is, I disagree heavily with that, but all right. He must be doing something right. He's like, man, most Panzerwerfers in the field have gotten 30, 40, 50 kills. You've gotten 7. You get 2 Veteran C points. There you go. Take it. You deserve it. That or he stole it from another Panzerwerfer, another theater who actually deserves it. And now that guy is being sent to the Oh, they're already fighting in Rzhev. What am I saying? This is alright for the guys being like, yeah, we can send him out to be slaughtered. Just like that MG, or also the infantry that was there. Speaking of which, Stuka comes in. This could be a little more effective, but alas, once again, not really. Not too many huge kills. Again, that grenade did a lot more, in my opinion. Calliope, though, moving on up with 42 kills. 151 has done a great job at shotgunning. This might have been a bait action. Calliope lures the Panzer IVs in into Jagdpanzer, although they probably need a little more AT, and also have to worry about the Panzer Fusiliers with Panzer Shreks. But I will say, they have Shreks on their men, so again, the armor could be in harm's way. Jackson's already killed by it. Panzer IV and a lot of armor is advancing. Middle is completely collapsing right now. Airstrikes coming on in. Calliope very low on health. Stuka Bomb comes in, kills the half-track, which I don't know if it was on purpose, but at the very least, it allows the planes to keep fighting. Calliope was killed, which was the 42 kill one. Panther kills an ambulance. Jackson goes down. This is a complete rout for the Allies. They're absolutely falling apart. The base is about to die. Jackson could follow. Priest may fall apart as well. This was a fantastic move for the Axis. Allies trying to push on in, but a lot of the stuff is being held firm or okay. Warfers need to fire upon this blob, and they do, killing a number of riflemen and the support equipment. The Priests are still on the run, and yes, still not looking great. I think this might be game, which would be a hell of a thing if the, again, really, I can't stress this enough. Fantastic work with the Axis for at least waiting for a great time. And they waited for the enemy to be overextended, the riflemen back at base healing, so they had no screens, and literally they kill everything. The one counter I will say is right now 151 and Longrad both have resources in their belt. They have enough where they can replenish some losses. Not a lot though. Churchill trying to make it its way back. You still have the Panther here, which could be the first loss. Again, this is where a smoke would be really, really great to call in. Luckily, it looks like something was called in here. I think major artillery, maybe. Unsure. I think it's major artillery. Panzer IVs are slowly backing up. Infantry's just keeping the area held. Jackson coming back up. We have new Jackson on the field for both Longrad and 151. Barbs still had some great frontline force, but lost a Panther in that push. Still worth it by the amount of stuff they killed. We got another Stuka as well. Priest, the most valuable thing right now in the field, did live. So Longrad von Huge Dog did save that, which is really surprising, honestly. You figure he would absolutely go down. But no, he manages to live, survive, and, well, hopefully maybe manage an allied comeback, but we'll have to see. Artillery still coming on in. Infantry, by the way, with a lot of kills, up to 40. The infantry section have also like mid-30s. Panzer IV barely alive, trying to get out. Jackson may give chase, which would be unfortunate for a Vet 4 Panzer IV that's been on the field for so long. Panther coming on in to try to save it, but it doesn't have smoke. So unless he body blocks the shot, I just don't know what he's going to do. He does body block the shot, actually. He's taking all the hits, so the Panzer IV can live. If Jackson can still try to give chase, it would still be risky. But really, I mean, I can't say it's enough. Solid teamwork right there. Artillery's coming down over this sector. We're kind of seeing a bit of a mixed bag with artillery. I mean, like, sure, it's knocked out the MG, which is great. Wait, hold on. Oh, Stuka comes in, helps clear against the Allies. Yeah, but my only thing is RDing, but there's the next wave of infantry. 151's coming up to cap it, because I was like, 1 unit or 2 units? Probably not going to hold that for too long, and I was right with the Sadat and Volk squads coming on in, and more Panzer Fusiliers to drive the enemy back. Jackson always tries to get a shot on the Werfer, but he goes down. We have multiple Panthers coming on in. Once again, diving. I'm assuming they're once again going for these priests, which are literally, in my opinion, as valuable as, let's say, carriers in the Pacific for the U.S. But alas, that strike did not work again. and the Panthers absolutely get annihilated in this fight, and Barbs will have none of his Panthers alive, and yeah, everything will fall apart. We do have airstrikes coming on in. Jackson could be in harm's way. Infantry might be suppressed and stopped. A lot of armor, though, could be hampered. And what I do have here... Oh, I'm sorry, little one. How are you? Oh, okay. I have a corgi. Do you have any insights on this replay? Okay, that's a lot of good insights. That's a lot of good insights. So thank you. Oh my God. Again, this is my brother's dog, which is, hey, this is 151's playing. No corgi? I'm just interrupting this replay for a dog. I'm sorry. She just popped on in. But in the meantime, while the corgi was giving her opinion on the matter, armor's coming on up and doing another counterattack. Again, the allies have repaired. They have more fireflies. The Axis are seriously down on overall reserves. Well, Barbs has tons of manpower. He's just not deploying anything. Darmok has gotten a Yag Tiger, which is scary. But again, allies do still have their artillery. Longrod still has his priest. With over 70 kills. So he has enough firepower to deal with the Yag. Our priests are really good counters for it. Stuka comes on in to help clear the fighting position, I believe. Yep, and Gradier will come on in. I love the fact that he has the Bren gun. And he won't upgrade to the MG42. That's quite funny. And now Longrod has left, making the allies in an interesting state, I would say. I would definitely say interesting state, because now the guy that literally has the perfect counter is no longer controlled by a human, rather by an AI who might literally run these things into the enemy base. Anyway, Calliope, though, opening fire, managing to drive the Axis back. The armor is still staying strong, and again, this is really where an OKW half-track with sight, a searchlight, would really come in handy for additional sight against all these things so they could fire. Is the Stuka Bomb literally going to kill all this stuff? Oh, that would be so sad. Oh my God. It was a good hit. It was a solid hit. Oh my God, is Panzerwerfer going to kill this? Well, at least the AI is trying to shoot. It ended up... Literally, the AI took control, and within 30 seconds, it died. Wonderful job, AI. Just absolutely immaculate. Panzer IV immediately gets rocked by 2 Jacksons and Fireflies as well, fired from afar. Very lucky that Jagdpanzer made out in one piece. The other Panzer IV barely making it out, so Train got lucky. Train got very lucky with that. Jackson, though, trying to push, and that's the AI doing that. Again, usually, and luckily Longrod has tons of resources, so the AI does have a healthy amount of resources to pump out units for. Does he need all this? No. Is AI getting it? Yes. Will it at least be a buffer in the meantime? Sure. Anyway, artillery coming down with Jackson's opening fire. They're trying to push up and clear it with infantry, and that seems to be working. Again, allies are down by about 50 points. Axis are not as in the lead as they were in some portions of this game, but we'll have to see. We have a sniper, which is being very sneaky. He is, I think, going to reveal himself. I'm not sure if he did. Stuka, though, pulling on back. Just watch out with the bases, but surprise, surprise, this sniper is actually going back here. Oh my God, is this sniper going to go for this? Or is he going to throw the artillery? Is he going to throw the artillery flare? I mean, I would throw the artillery flare. He could shoot it, absolutely, but it won't do all that much. We're literally seeing it, like the first secret agent go in. Come on, what is he going to do? What are you doing? Oh, wait, you're just going to call in your precision barrage strike on him to kill the Stuka. Unfortunately, the Stuka has only 9 kills, but, oh, he reacted! He reacted! Oh my God, that has to be annoying. It's like the guy who tried to kill Castro. Oh no, yeah, the Castro. It's like, I got him. Do you just stare at units all game? Oh my God, Delta's so peeved. His direct strike. Sound cue. Thank you. Again, you'll hear the sound of the artillery flares, so you're like, oh, where's that? Anyway, Jackson's pushing on. He gets Panzer IV. Great kill. Oh, well, nice job, Creepio. You're keeping them distracted. Keep having them type so they can't micro the units away from the Jacksons. 151 seems to be really enjoying that. Although Warfur's coming on in. Infantry, Creepio's infantry trying to hold line. A lot of Jagdpanzers on the field now. Unfortunately, no more priests. Infantry's now pushing on right. Echelons have to be very cautious in this fight. Infantry is now going for the star. Meanwhile, it looks like the Germans have some solid forces, although in small numbers. Ranked very highly with at least in the 20s with kills. Infantry section are in the 20s well, but it looks like a great Calliope is going to squad up. There goes that elite fighting force. Well, and as they appeared, so they were removed from the face of the earth. Sniper is still back there. I don't know if he... I think the Brits may have called down like artillery near the front, I would assume. That's what's being called in here. But you could try again against another target, against another enemy. Let's see. So we saw this Stuka, which has 10 kills, but it's inside the base. On the far left, you have a Sherman by the AI. Again, smart move by, was it Duff? I think his name right? No, Barbs. Why did I even say Duff? Was it Dunder Mifflin? Is that what I'm thinking of from The Office? Anyway, good job by Barb Barb from Stranger Things. God damn, that's where I should remember it from. Anyway, good job by staying off the ice, so that way, again, if it does get a lucky shot, it kills you. AI now being just annoyed and killed and run over by the Panther. Luckily, Jackson Force coming on in with Fireflies en route. They can easily make quick work with this stuff and kill it if possible. Luckily, good AT grenade on that one. Looks like the Panther won't make it out, which is a huge blunder for Barbs. He's now down significantly in men. So even though that they have an AI, it's not as bad as you would think because, well, to be honest, if one of your opponents doesn't have a huge army, AI can just buffer and just throw men. Now, it would be great to have someone stable here, but alas, we're just going to see the AI continue to throw men into the meat grinder and literally lose everything. But that's fine. It's an AI. Firefly gets neutralized by the Jagdpanzers. Tigers moving on in. Calliope once again comes on in to wipe a number of key units. He might be good with hearing sound cues, but he just can't dodge Calliope rockets to save his life. Meanwhile, we have another batch of airstrikes coming on in, and I don't think the Allies have anti-air of any type. They do not. So right now, without any sort of... Is that a... What the hell? Oh, maybe it's because of the men, I assume. It just shows that the crew self-defense is there, but not the tank commander, which is a little off. Anyway, they might be able to kill the Jagdpanzer if they're lucky. He misses. That hit and killed it, so excellent shot right there. The other one does escape. Veteran seat 3. Germans hold 1 VP, but looks like quick action by Creepio, which was capturing the right, did pay off, and he was managing to stop the bleed from happening even more against the Allies. So, but it's still 2, but again, it could be 3, and that 3 would be a lot worse, because 3 per second, things go a lot faster. Was this a 6-pounder trying to hold back the Jag? We have more airstrikes in the sector, but they're pulling back. Warfur's coming down on the Churchill, most likely trying to stop those repairs. Are these repair stations? Yeah, they are repair stations. So there are a bunch of guys running around. Unfortunately, some of them may have died to some warfare action, which might, or the weird vehicles are just causing them to scatter. I'm not entirely sure. Any capacity, they're trying to do what they can. Let's see, Longrod is actually taken over the left. For how long, I don't know. He does have a Sherman, though, so that is something. Calliope is backed up by those double Jacksons, which are going to be absolutely needed to deal with their remaining Axis armor. Infantry is taking over the right. I don't see the sniper. I think the sniper perished. It did. Looks like it might have got killed by the Panzerfusiliers or something along those lines. But yeah, it's not looking great. We do have a small push by 151's forces onto the left, most likely in a valiant effort to try to stop this game from falling apart. Yep, we have the rifleman and the lieutenant coming on in. We have recon overhead, and from what I can see, unless they get some good grenades, well, no, they have the Sherman here. AI actually contributing, and the bars managed to kill a unit. So I would say it's a win-win. It's so good job there. They got one VP back. So now they just need mid, which is guarded by a Jagdpanzer, a Panzer IV, a Jagdtiger, and a Stuka. Churchill trying to make a rapid escape. Luckily, the main weapon was disabled, allowing the Churchill to get out of there. We also have a 17-pounder. Hit by Stuka action, though. Yep, neutralizes all that. But luckily, the 17-pounder has some solid range, so if the armor moves up, they can deal with it. So they have... until that thing's dead, they have an equivalent, I would say, to the Jagdtiger. They kind of guard territory, plus everything else. They just need infantry, honestly. That's kind of the main thing, is you need solid infantry. Calliope seems to be firing in this area. A little bit scattered. Might be trying to go for the King and repair crews, which if they're not reacting, I think they are. Maybe not. It would be imperative they get that up. Panther might snipe that if he's lucky and make it fall through the ice. At the very least, he's going to pen it. The problem is you have to worry about the 17-pounder, but I don't think the Panther has to worry too much. AT from the Panzer Fusiliers bringing us down very low. We have the King Tiger back in mid. So, you know, good to see that sucker. Nice kill right there. Oh, shoot. I probably missed the... Did I see the death of the last King Tiger? I don't think I did. I think I just completely forgot about it because it disappeared. And I was like, eh. But, no, I'm assuming it was killed by either artillery or the Fireflies or something. Calliope opening fire on the MG. He does kill the MG. Alright, so good use. But again, the Axis have good armor, good artillery, but they don't have a lot of infantry. Oh, okay, I take that back. It looks like Darmok has a solid infantry force. So I apologize, Darmok. You are against the curve and actually do have a good solid infantry force. Somehow allies as well are holding, or trying to hold the VPs, even though it's 2v3, which is kind of astounding. Yeah, Axis do still have a lead by 3-1, but at least they stopped it. So 60 points remaining. Close range strike with the Calliope does kill a squad. Unfortunately, not much else can stop these Grenadiers from advancing. Luckily, the one thing I'll say is the Germans don't have enough munitions for like a direct strike, because otherwise that would be super bad. Grenade was thrown, but not a ton of damage used or done. It does force some retreat, which is a big plus, but again, right now it's like, eh. Alright, British infantry managed to push forward, call down their own like artillery from the base. Hopefully, maybe hitting them on the area so that way it just causes havoc and keeps the Axis back, which might give the Allies a little bit of time to capture the points, put up defenses, whatever they need to do, because the 70-pounder needs healed. There's a lot of things they need done. But Allies right now is still yet to cap it. So right now it's ticking, and now we're under 60 points. Again, the Axis have to just make sure they don't lose stuff. Allies need to make sure that they keep killing stuff on a high number, plus make sure they get the VPs. Panzerwerfer has 32 kills, which is solid. I'll give it that. Like, it's definitely come a far way, but again, we'll have to see how it continues. King Tiger pushing back to the echelon. More artillery coming on in. Trying to clear this area. Somewhat effective, I would say. I say somewhat. But at least they did clear the infantry in the sector and maybe wipe one, I think. Anyway, King Tiger hitting the Churchill, penning it, but Churchill does not care. He can take those hits and is holding strong. Ambulance trying to help on the front, which AI, alright. That's a ballsy move to put your ambulance literally on a tiny little island, but if you think it's safe, great. It's probably not. You're probably going to die, but still. Stuka coming in from the side, trying to kill the AT gun. Again, King Tiger has to worry if he advances further. There goes that unit being completely be wiped by the Calliope. Again, that seems to be like the saving grace is the Calliope with 31 kills. The other one now 6. AI is not doing half bad either, has 58 population, so at least it has something on the field. 17 pounders close to veteran C3. Firefly close to veteran C3, not even gonna kill. Infantry taking over the point. We have another concentration barrage. I don't expect... Oh, actually it did hit. I'm actually surprised it knocked out his main engine with just one strike. But again, I guess it does have a high likelihood of that happening. But yeah, no, the Germans were pushed back and the Allies have the VPs, which they need. They absolutely need. But if we look at overall population as well, we're looking at the Axis being in the upper 60s, I would say. But on the Allied side, you're looking at a army composition with the AI, mind you, higher than 70. So again, right now Allies have the lead. If the Axis keep losing men like they are to that Werfer, or the Calliope, then things are not going to go well. They need to do something to take it out, to neutralize it, something, anything. Gradier's going for left. I love the AI actually setting up. Hopefully it's setting up to kill him on retreat, or 151 just kills him. Jackson's again both vet 3. Again, solidly defending the point. My game is now starting to chug because we're on Rzhev Winter, an hour into this bloody game. Alright, AI losing units, but that's fine. He can lose it. Doesn't really make much of an impact. It's just throwing bodies into the meat grinder. Is there actually priests? No. It has to be the Brits. The Brits artillery. At least he has an anti-air gun, which may lead to good results if he doesn't kill himself. But it's an AI. He's gonna get that half-track killed. Beacon's overhead. Again, Werfers are in the back. Maybe they can target the Vet 3-1 if they're lucky. But looks like he doesn't have the resources for it. So again, don't expect anything like that. Again, the Sherman, that AI, love it. It's like, yes, we'll hold. Die on the ice. And there it goes, sinks to its grave.
A medium tank was just lost.
Allies still have a solid defensive line, though, with armor. They have the Calliopes for shotgunning. They have tons of tank destroyers. They have the Churchill. Like, they have a solid armored force. So if they think they're just going to roll over and play dead, the Axis are sadly wrong. They need to play the smart and not just sending in units. It looks like what they're doing. Like, 70 pounder's still there. You haven't removed it, so that Yag Tiger is still very much, in harm's way from 70 pounder, easily penning it. Werfer coming down, but again, doesn't get too many kills, if at all. And artillery kind of hitting that sector.
A capture point is being overrun. Emplacement under attack.
Werfer returning fire, but again, hits this point. They brace, and it's totally fine. Cromwell's on the field. Alright, so we might try another dive attempt. Third time's the charm for the Allies. Yag Tiger accidentally maybe looking at the area. But wait, is he actually going to get a kill for once? Oh my god, he gets the kill. Hot damn. He actually has got... no mines is the reason for this. If one mine would have stopped that. Because the rail engineers are back at base. All 3 pieces of artillery are neutralized. That's a huge win for the Allies. And the Cromwell's gonna get escape? 3rd time's the charm. Alright, so yeah, he'll get out. He'll make it back to base. And with the Axis essentially losing their artillery, that's a huge loss. Well, for them. And with that, yeah. Right now, they don't have any artillery, if I recall correctly, right? No, they have 1. They have 1 piece of artillery, basically trained Stuka, which not the best thing. Could use fire and try to do damage here. Actually, that would probably be a very smart idea. Why aren't you using fire against that? That would probably be solid. Also, it'd be like, hey, call down munitions so we can, get stuff. Unfortunately, it keeps losing men, But that would be a motive, would be constant fire barrage strikes against the fortifications. Tanks just chilling there with the infantry because AI. So artillery is hitting this sector on the left. Luckily, 151 doesn't have most of his force over there. It's only AI. AI is probably going to lose a little bit. Maybe it loses for echelons, but overall, not too big of a loss. Or riflemen just charge on in. Shotgun approach is going after the almost Dotton. Not able... Oh, nope, he gets the kill. Calliope absolutely gets the kill, so really good wipe there. And once again, the Axis just keep losing crucial squads to the Calliope. I don't know whether you have to attack the side or something along those lines, but something needs to be done against it. And again, it's not like the Axis don't have that. They also have a Stuka, so you can, use that. But again, a lot of different possibilities here you could use. Jackson's opening fire on the King, trying to drive him back. Jackson very low. He does die, losing a Vet 3 Jackson, but the King has been repulsed. Middle is completely under Axis control. But again, I would separate your units. Like, this is a perfect Calliope strafe, if I ever saw one. And the only reason you're not dead is because Calliopes are actively reloading right now. So, yeah, separate. It really does help. I just realized this guy's bazooka. Or, is that a Panzerschreck? It's a bazooka. Okay. Why does he have a bazooka? Why would you allow your Grenadier to pick up a bazooka? Am I wrong by saying that? Oh, good. They shot the bazooka man to death, and now he only has a friend. Makes sense to me. They might try another armored push, and they still have some good armor. Like, that's the thing. The King's still alive, the Yag's still alive. They could focus all their efforts and try to kill it. They absolutely could, and it could be very crucial. Especially if they hug the left side. The 70-pounder only has so much range. So, again, you could do something like that. Or they could try to focus their attention and kill a armored vehicle, and they immediately retreat. But Churchill is the perfect thing to take that heat. Lots of fire right now from the tank destroyers aiming the Panther. Calliope just helping to clear a lot of the infantry on the left. Again, Axis cannot be happy. They lost more armor in that push. And right now, yeah, things are going very, very badly. British still trying to hold the line. It looks like the 73 section did die to artillery fire, but some of the vets from earlier are still holding on. So much dead infantry right there. God damn. There's so much death and destruction. But, yeah, population-wise, Creepio is 73, 151's at 91. AI is kind of there. At least he's sending up infantry just for harassment purposes. Axis, like, they're not doing bad, but, like, Barb's is questionable. Barb's is questionable. But they're, like, hovering, I would say, in the upper 60s, right? I would say. Well, that it might be a little lower, but... Oh, he actually lived. He ran through the water and was totally fine. Okay. King Tiger opening fire. Gets a kill here and there. Up to Vanity 2 with 19 kills. So it's done some decent work. Again, 70-pounders right here. You haven't killed it. And now it's going to return fire. 70-pounder. Gets great shot. King Tiger barely alive. Backing on up. Absolutely needs repairs. Yag Tiger's under fire. So yeah, really great job with 70-pounder. And I'm surprised the Axis haven't done more to kill it. Speaking of killing, another shotgun approach by the Calliope just helps wipe a Grenadier squad. And yeah, now they have like up close to around 60 kills. Rifle grenade comes in. Again, Axis desperately trying to hold the line, but just not able to, which is unfortunate. More Calliope fire coming on in. Again, separate your units. One person on the point. There goes another unit. Calliope just obliterating them and pulling on back. Yep. Again, they're right now opening fire on the Punstable Slayer squad. You have Stuka coming on in, damaging a lot of the infantry, forcing him back. Infantry's on fire. The Brits are also on fire, but Germans smart enough to pull back during it. Are they? Yeah, they're taking small amounts of damage. Very small, but still, it's impacting them. Alright, you got infantry on the left, fighting the Panzer Fusiliers, but again, the AI is in a way better spot. So, yeah, Darmok sees that and retreats. He's like, I'm not dealing with this. I wonder if okay, I will 100% say this. My brother's like, this game's like 45, 50 minutes. And it's an hour and 10. Alright. Alright. I'm not going to trust any more replays from 151 at this point. I'm absolutely not. Anyway, great strike from the artillery. Right there, knocking out some support equipment. There we go. We got the ambulance death. But again, I'm assuming that's more with the is that actually 151's ambulance? No, it's AI's. AI's. Of course it is. Again, Germans desperately trying to fight in mid. They just are having a really rough time. And even with the new Stuka and everything else, they're just they just can't consistently hold without, let's say, a Calliope coming in just obliterating all their men. JLI trying to fight. They are being upped with G43s, but again, it's like, actually surprised 151 is allowing him to fight for that long, because surprised he didn't die. AI, though, coming on in. Panther Force trying to fight, kill the fighting position. It's still being made. It's not upgrading, so, you know, it's not a threat to you. I get why you might want to try to kill it, but it's not an active threat. Massive push in mid. Again, if the Axis can hold the VPs, then it's a win. Stop grouping, separate. There goes Sturms. Huntsville Saluters get pushed back. Again, try to have like be social distance. Be 6 feet apart when the enemy starts blasting with artillery. Anyway, artillery coming down. Yep, neutralizes that. Huntsville Saluters get pushed back. Coming in. Plenty of good shots across the board. Artillery trying to keep the Axis back. And yeah, British. That's a great thing. It's like 45 munitions, and it just can constantly call out artillery and just hammer that area. Actually, I think that's something a little more. Nope, it is just the British artillery. It's a really good job. It's just holding the out. Oh my god. What is this AI? God bless you. Yes, this Stuart will charge right in and fight that King Tiger, Yag, a Tiger, and Panther head on. It's perfect. Is that the great? Is the AI the great descendant of General Lee? Who's like, yes, charge through the middle, absolutely, but will be annihilated by their cannons. Pickett, I believe in you. You can do this. And the guy's like, this is not going to go well. And it didn't. It absolutely didn't. Anyway, Jackson's pushing forward, trying to keep the Yag Tiger back. I'll give credit. Yag Tiger is at vet 3. Solid work right there. Sherman now, again, AI being like, oh, I'm going to hide in the corner. They won't see me. Panther's like, you're dead. Luckily, 151 has double Jackson's trying to provide support, but I think we all know that is that Sherman not dead? How's that Sherman not dead? You get back there and you kill it. 151, you stay out of that thing's business. Anyway, looks like there was an attempt for a push on right. They are, again, within 40 points of each other now, which is astounding. The Allies have managed to stay in this fight this long. I have to give credit to the Calliopes. I truly think the wiping that we're seeing in mid is what's keeping them at bay. Like, the Axis have slowly but surely just lost a good chunk of their infantry. For example, like that, 2 constant barrages. So, great shotgun approach there. The counterpoint, I would say, immensely, is the fact the Axis did have artillery, just a good deep strike by the Allies neutralized all of it, which has seriously helped. And also the Allies, I'm sorry, the Axis do have a decent population for some of their men. Unfortunately, Barbs just can't keep anything alive, and is now going with a Panzerwerfer first strat, which is absolutely stupid, but that's what he's going. Anyway, MG opening fire. We got the Panzerfusiliers engaging as well. 17 pounder pushing them back.
The enemy have destroyed a forward position.
Churchill moving on in. Again, this thing's been around for so long, 33 kills. And yeah, it's just blasting. It's like, I don't care, you're all gonna die. And yeah, it just drives the infantry back. And with the Firefly coming on in, he's still the 17 pounder, although barely out of range. Still, its presence is felt. That's why the armor is not advancing as much. Oh, this Panther's so dead. And fire. There it goes. And it just lost a good half its health in one shot, or close to it. More Calliope shots coming on with the grenade. Wipes it, because that was a light Gammon Bomb, not a normal grenade. Rzhev's moving on in. 30 points remaining, by the way. Allies just need to hold on to it a little bit longer, and they can overtake the Axis. Axis hold on to it equal amount of time, and they win the game. 29 points for the Allies, 71 for the Axis. Axis needs some big plays here. They do have a population. If they go in piecemeal, they might be able to do it. Or the Panzerwerfers come in and actually hit targets, because Rzhev literally just like was like drunk dancing, and they managed to dodge all the shots. Oh boy, we have another Stuart. Oh god damn it. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Stuart, charge right in, win the game. Jagdtigers at the Baron C4 obliterates the sucker. Meanwhile, Allies taking over the right. Again, if there's nothing stopping them, then why wouldn't they go? I feel like it's way... I know a lot of people put the Panzer headquarters there. I think it's a lot better to put it here, so that way it guards this point, so that way you can hopefully stop them. Though I will say the Brits can also use just smoke to get around it. So, you know, a push and pull mentality. Also, by God, Creepio has so much in terms of munitions and fuel. He can call down like 4 of these strikes, and he would still, by the time he used all of them, will still be in a fine position. Calliope coming on in. Volk Squad walking right into it. This could be very bad. Oh, luckily he didn't die. The half-track died, I think. AI losing, again, more units. Axis actually gaining control of that point, but it does not matter because the Allies took over the right, which makes it still, even with an Axis capture there, Allies 2, Axis 1. Precision barrage strike, if I can talk. It's been an hour and 18 minutes, sorry, I'm losing my goddamn mind. Does neutralize the units. Artillery comes on in to help kill its 17 pounder, but it's still alive. Like, guys, come on. Like, it's gonna annihilate your armor. That's a Vet 3 King you just sacrificed, and it will die. I have a high feeling it's gonna die. Is it really not gonna die? Is it really not gonna die? Churchill trying to go for the... He's gonna go for the pen with a goddamn Churchill. Jagdtiger gets annihilated, so even better, by the Firefly's rockets. Again, we have a rocket barrage coming on in, getting some good shots overall.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Again, just the constant Calliope shots. Look, I'm not even saying this is fair, but it is effective. It is quite effective. The thing about AI is actually making infantry. I mean, is he though? He's mostly sending armor to die, and honestly, the AI has kept it, you know, and has 56 kills on this thing. Like, this thing is actually surveying the battlefield and has gotten a ton of kills.
Ready for action.
Also, for some reason, my FPS is crashing. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the patch? I know that the patch caused frame rate issues, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Usually the game doesn't lag as much as this, but maybe it's just because it's this kind of type of game. Anyway, Germans try to take it. Not enough time. Even though Darmok does have the, breakthrough tactics, so he could have used that multiple times in this game. But overall, still a solid game. With an AI, 151 and Creepio managed to turn the tide after a horrifying German push and held things very well. If I have to say why they held, 17-pounder, some solid infantry brought by the Creepio, along with tank destroyers, both by Creepio and 151. 151 had a solid, also Jackson force, which held up. The big thing, though, was the Calliopes. They just wiped so much infantry that every time they pushed up, they just got wiped. It was literally every single time. Don't get me wrong, the King got some kills, and the Stuka as well, but also gotta give it to Creepio for the amazing dive he did against the Axis, which really neutralized a lot of their artillery and kept them from grabbing the points. It's like if the Battle of Midway happened and then Yamato's like, yes, still push for Midway. It's like you want to do an amphibious landing with no air cover while the enemy still has... theoretically, they would be exhausted, but still, they would have up to, was it 3 carriers worth? I think they got all the planes off the Yorktown. I'm not entirely sure. I want to say the planes got off the Yorktown. At the very least, some of them did. But point of the matter is, you got like 3 carriers worth of planes, including the island, which would be like its own carrier. It's equivalent based on how the U.S. Navy. I'm sorry, I have Midway on the brain just because of World War II. But still, it's one of those situations where the constant wipes and everything like that. It was just it made a world of difference. And without that key ingredient, in this case artillery, in the historical case air support, you just weren't gonna make a lot of headway. You just weren't, without taking heavy losses, which you did, and you weren't able to do it. You weren't able to push up and take it. Maybe some better defenses on right, maybe some mines on right. Look, I get 151 having a ton of munitions because, again, he's the USF. He can't build mines. He's in this bad state. Germans kept using those airstrikes and assault artillery. I think a little bit less with the assault artillery would have been better. More mines, and also maybe some decapture. Again, really capture it quick so you save a couple seconds, and that could have helped you win this game. But let's look at the after action report and see how things go. This game will probably bug splat before too long, so I can't say on the screen, or I can't move around, I should say, to other things. But I will say is 151 and Creepio both got respectable damage, each only 12 damage apart, but 151 definitely got more, and as well, we can see here, definitely a ton of kills, nearly 300, which again, he did have infantry. They mostly died, but he did have that. On the Axis side, Strain had the most kills in artillery. That kind of makes sense. He had a good infantry force. He had some decent artillery. He had the King Tiger, and I'm actually kind of curious on him, how he got so many kills overall. Why did he get so many kills? 59 with the Volk. I guess it was just a group effort. Again, good damage by Tank Destroyer. Creepio as well. Let's see, your kill count. It's probably going to bug splat. But still, Sherman Firefly, solid work there. Again, Tank Destroyers were so crucial in this. And especially with the Panthers diving in, as they did, that was way overextending their lines. 54,000 damage with the Tank Destroyer. Jesus. Like, solid anti-tank, solid anti-infantry. 132 kills with Calliopes. My God. And again, you have 6-digit damage count. So, and again, the AI, even with the AI, with the troops, Longrod upgraded them well because they were actually a decent fighting force against these random scattered elements the Germans had. They just couldn't deal with even an AI-controlled rifleman. So, solid work there. But again, guys, thanks for watching. This has been greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Before you guys go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Joey G240, Aphyria, Ace, Tony B95, Epic Pleb, Sometool, and Netkuba. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for watching. And seriously, I could not do this without all of you. So thank you so very much. This has been greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time.